Welcome, Michele, on the Metal Galaxy YouTube channel, where we bring live experience into our viewers' living room. And here we are at Opium, Dublin, interviewing you here about Temperance. You're a man of many bands, many talents, and as well many instruments. Tonight we are going to talk solely about one very band, Temperance, where you are the singer, and recently there was as well released Hermitage, the Rumas Ace Part 2, and your ferry tour here with Sirenia. So welcome, Michele, and let's kick off, shall we?
Thank you for hosting me. It's a pleasure to be here. It's our first time ever in Ireland, first time in Dublin, so it's a fresh new experience. This is a gift, for musicians. We get to travel and we get to discover new places. It's funny, I've been traveling all around the world, but I was never here, so it's a pleasure. And of course, it's a pleasure to meet you. And
yeah,
let's go. Let's talk about it.
Great. And you are a pirate, basically traveling from country to country. So I'm wondering, what kind of pirate are you with Temperance? And can you describe yourself in just 6 words?
Oh, 6 words.
Yeah.
Adventurer, curious, determined. That's too many words. Then, if I want to say that I love to have fun, how do you say this? How do you put it down? Let's say funny with this meaning. I love culture. I love to discover new cultures. I'm really curious on this level, and I like food. I love food.
Every Italian, I think, loves food. But you hate when the food comes like a pineapple with pizza, right?
That's not food. I cannot categorize this into food.
Amazing. So we have some basics. So I'm wondering then, as you have so many bands, I'm wondering then Temperance, in what kind of way it fulfills you that the other bands don't, and in what particular way are you using your talents here in this very band?
So right now, at the very end of the day, it's not that many anymore. I only have like 2 main projects, which is Visions of Atlantis and Temperance. And of course, I am part of ERA, the French project. But I don't feel like I can say I'm a band member of ERA, because it's a bigger project, a bigger production. I don't take part of the songwriting. It's not like, it's a completely different experience, over there. When it comes to Visions and Temperance, these are 2 child, like how can you describe one child and one other child? Visions of Atlantis is, of course, right now, at least it's a bigger band, and we are in a really, really good moment. We are traveling the world. We are, I just got back, from the United States 3 days ago, 4 days ago, and then I jumped into this new...
and you're jumping back to the other bands.
Exactly.
Week.
Like my life is busy. And of course, there is where I expose the theatrical and the symphonic metal version of myself. And then there is Temperance, which is we like to call it a vocally pyrotechnical band. Because,
nice.
We have 3 vocalists and we are all bringing our voices to the extremes. Like Christine has this fantastic changes between clean vocals and raspy vocals. My range in Temperance is exploited from the very low to the highest high. Marco is also chameleonic, he changes his voice from song to song. So we really try to explore vocals in Temperance. This is something that, of course, doesn't happen in Visions of Atlantis for obvious reasons. And this is something that I truly enjoy, because as a singer, it's like exploring your technique, exploring your limits, always chasing new horizons and trying to make it, different every time. So this is a possibility that Temperance gives to the 3 of us, to all of us as vocalists. And yeah, of course, it's something that is less possible in Visions of Atlantis, where everything is happening in a completely different way. We are definitely, I think Visions of Atlantis right now is holding the torch of symphonic metal, with all the other symphonic metal bands basically drifting aside from what symphonic metal was at the beginning. Because if you think of it, Nightwish, they are not doing symphonic metal anymore. They are exploring, which is fantastic, but leaves a big hole where symphonic metal was meant to be. Epica, they are also, going more and more heavy and a bit farther from what they were at the beginning. So someone who does symphonic metal as it was meant to be, with some freshness, is not there if not for Vision. So I believe this is my perspective.
Interesting, and thank you so much for sharing this, Michele. So with Temperance, what would you say, in what direction does Temperance drift?
I wouldn't consider Temperance a symphonic metal band, for instance. I would say that we are a modern metal band. Of course, we don't have, we have several genty part, this modern riffing based parts, but still, this is not the lead of Temperance. The lead is still melodies, big melodies, and these big vocal harmonies, given by the fact that we can showcase three singers. Like, I don't want to talk about myself, but Christine and Marco are amazing singers. And I do my best to keep the pace, and I think this is our strength. But I would never say that Temperance is a symphonic metal band. We don't fit over there. I don't see Temperance close to Nightwish. I don't see Temperance close to Visions of Atlantis. I don't see Temperance close to Sirenia, or in terms of style. Of course, it's a good match for a live show because there is variety. Even if we would be playing with Amaranthi, it would be good. Even if we'd be playing with Dynasty, it would be good, because these bands are close in terms of style, but we're not doing the same thing. You see what I mean?
Totally agree, and as well, Marco is a great singer. Like, we covered Virtual Cemetery 2 years ago on our YouTube channel. Check it out. That was as well.
Great band, progressive metal band, amazing.
Yeah, and something different again. Back to Temperance. So you've mentioned it's very singer focused, and it's interesting to see just one guitarist bass. Basically, so I think that makes the sound, as you say. And I'm wondering then, as the lineup hasn't been constant, like there were various singers, there was Chiara, there was Alessi, and Christine as well. There were different guitarists. I think there was a big lineup. So
Sandro was playing guitar at the very beginning, and then there were two guitars, and then Marco took to cover also what he was doing, basically, and Temperance got back to one guitar only. Yeah.
And how do you think this sound was impacted, and how did Temperance basically evolve?
So the thing is that when you tell the story behind the band, there are always so many additional things that should be said that probably a single interview would not be enough, to analyze everything. There is always a reason, why things happen. For instance, the very first lineup changes were given by the fact that the touring live increased a lot for Temperance. Temperance was always a band playing live, but when you start, you have ambitions of a certain kind, and then you discover that maybe you need to do more, you need to play more shows, and this is not always a possibility that everyone can get into. And at the same time, sometimes the expectation that you have for the live show and the live on the road doesn't match what truly live on the road is, because
it's not that glamorous.
It's fun. We love it. It's like this hour on stage means so much for me. On the emotional level, I feel like I can give so much, and I can truly express myself. And this is something that I have a hard time doing the same way everywhere else if you're on stage. So it's really personal. But at the same time, we sleep badly, we eat poorly, we don't really have an easy day schedule, because you have to wake up, you have to load in, load out, sound check. You have to arrange a way to get lunch and dinner. It's always complicated. Maybe you end up really late. You go bed at 2 or 3. Then you wake up in the morning because you have passport control, or traveling over here, or you have to get down, or you have to stop and you have to do this. So it's truly demanding. It's way less glamorous, as one would say. And this is just not something that everyone can do.
Yeah,
and I don't mean to offend anyone here. It's just that it is what it is. A lot of people that I've known, even in my previous band, quit because life on the road was too demanding. Some say, you're still not, building a house or being under the sun for 24 hours, but at the same time, it's less relaxed, and it's pretty stressful.
when we do, for example, conference, it's of course less than a musician, but we get up at 3 a.m. sometimes to get a festival, and then it's traveling. It's always on the road, being a musician or even covering stories. So for those who want to become a musician, I hope you took notes.
Let's take some notes.
It's hard. You'll be sleep deprived, hungry, and yeah.
Your body won't be truly happy with what you're doing, and at the same time you have to deliver on stage and use your body. So it's not for everyone. It's not
those who love metal, and let's go back. So the Hermitage, according to the bio, it opened a new chapter and increased the band to a new level. So I'm wondering, how can this interpret it, and can you explain a bit this?
Sure. The thing is that, again, due to a lineup change, we faced another pretty strong vocal change in Temperance, because the voice of Kristen compared to the voice of Alessia and before the voice of Chiara, there is honestly a big difference. I'm not saying that one is better and one is worse. I respect highly both Chiara's and Alessia's vocals, and they are amazing vocalists. But of course, the vocal color of Kristen is just different. And again, I'm not saying better or worse, it's different. So we had to face this, especially Marco, who is the main songwriter in Temperance. He had to understand how to exploit and how to make Kristen vocal work the best. And we definitely stepped away from a more, I would say, more radio-like sound, and we enter a world that is heavier, darker, definitely more metal, with more experimentation. There is quite some prog in this Hermitage record. You know, like there are some proggy elements that sometimes were happening here and there in songs like, if I think of songs like Oblivion or The Restless Ride, some old songs from Temperance.
But this progressive, I think it started as well with Jupiter album.
Yeah, it started there, but it was never that intense as it is right now. You know, we have quite some songs. There is a song that's called Into the Void, which is tempo changes, time changes. It's like really, really complicated, you know, in terms of performance-wise, and we enjoyed it really much. But of course, it's less radio-friendly, I would say. When songs like Jupiter Moons, My Demons Can Sleep, or I Am the Fire, they were really, I would say, radio friendly. You know, you see what I mean? With kind of direct lyrics. A lot of people told us that to understand properly Hermitage, they had to listen to it 3 or 4 times, but then they fell in love with it. And this is something that I really care of, because at the very end of the day, it doesn't really matter if your song sticks in your mind at the first listen, but what matters is the long term. If you are so personal and so unique that people will remember about the band because of your personality. And that song that maybe will take 3 or 4 times to get into you will stay there forever and won't be forgotten because it's just another, you know, song like that or that artist that already has it out. So
great insight, and we are taking these notes when reviewing everything. So just to round up the singers, so there was as well Fabie Erni, and as well a singer from Faun, and so on.
From Faun, yes.
So I'm wondering, is there any particular reasons that this guest appearance were happening?
And also, we also have Ale from Twilight Force. That's also important to mention, not to be forgotten. Well, simply the story of Hermitage. Hermitage is a concept album. So people have been asking, but is Jupiter Moons a concept album? Is Diamante a concept album? Finally, we can say yes, Hermitage, the Room Part 2 is a concept album. And the thing is that there are several characters. There are, you know, characters within the story. Like my character in the story is called Victor, for instance. And there are other characters that take part of the entire story that is told throughout Hermitage. And of course, we are 3 singers, but there are 6 characters. So we needed some extra guests, because otherwise it would have been Christine again singing the line of a different character. It would have been inconsistent, and it just fits perfectly the idea of a concept album where you have guests. So Fabienne has a character, Laura has a character, and Ale has a character. So this is the reason why we have these guests.
Great stuff, and truly unique concept. Let's do something random.
Okay.
How long are you? What's the longest that you went without showering?
Without shower, no, I can't. Like 2 days maximum. Sometimes,
so there is always a shower on the tour?
No, but sometimes you can either go to gyms, This is a technique that we can use. Maybe you pay the daily entrance at the gym, and gyms normally offer a shower, or there are gas stations that offer showers. Of course, it's not the most glamorous and charming situation, but it's better than.
But you're
than
one
nothing.
of the fresh musicians.
I would say that I'm almost germophobic. Almost. I wouldn't say I am germophobic. I can live with it.
So, what's the record of your bandmates? Are we allowed to know this?
I can tell you that someone didn't shower for a week, but I can't tell you who. I'm not gonna say.
So we are going to look who is the most sweatiest person.
Right now, we were super lucky. And we got a shower every day in this for everybody,
Nice.
which is not to be taken for. This is another thing, like you think, they are rockstar. They have the backstage. Sometimes we don't even have the backstage. Sometimes we have to stay in the tour bus, And
nice. So you're all fresh on the UK island tour.
Yeah, for now we are.
Let's go back to our album Hermitage. So the production was done by Marco, if I read the PO correctly,
Yes.
and mixed and mastered by Twilight, of course.
Yes.
Yes. So I'm wondering, you're yourself a sound engineer, producer. So why was it that Marco produced? And
so for what concerns the production, of course, Temperance is Marco's creature. Like Temperance were born with Marco. I joined Temperance 2018, but Marco and Luca, they are the two founding members that are still in the band. And when it comes to the creativity aspect, to the songwriting, especially Hermitage is 100% Marco. In the past, I've been writing some songs for Temperance. I wrote Pure Life Unfolds, for instance. I wrote some melodies. I wrote some lyrics. I wrote Let It Beat, but 90%, if not 95%, of Temperance's production from 2018 on is from Marco.
Interesting. So anything you would like that Marco did differently, or anything you will do differently?
Well, when you are into a project that is already running since years, I think that there is an important thing that runs among musicians, which is respect and trust. Like Marco is here since the very beginning.
Yeah.
He has the vision, and I truly respect and trust him. And this is the same thing that, for instance, there are other project visions. For example, I am the songwriter over there, and people just trust me over there. Like this is something at a certain level you reach, and it's the same with Nightwish and Thomas. It's the same with Delane and Martin. Like there are so many bands that I could mention when there is one songwriter and the other guys just trust and respect the vision of this person, because that person is the guide and the musical leader of the band. In this case, we're talking about Marco and Temperance, and this is his creature in terms of musical universe. So fairly enough, he knows what needs to happen. We respect him, we trust him, and this is why he is the producer of the record.
He's a great producer.
He's a wonderful producer, and he has such a big experience. He's been producing so many bands, even outside of Temperance. Not only his bands, but there are external bands that he produced for years. So you really,
So I would say anything you would maybe learn or take away from Marco.
Oh wow, he's so good in writing melodies. He's so good at writing melodies. Like, of course, it's different styles. You want yourself. When I write my own music, I want my music to have my trademark, because I believe this is what makes it special. That it sounds like me. And it doesn't sound like Marco. But at the same time, this doesn't mean that you don't appreciate and you don't respect someone else's music. Like Marco writes so beautiful melodies, and he's an amazing guitar player too. So he has a definitely interesting vision of the balance between guitars and vocals.
Certainly. So Marco is the man for melodies.
Marco is the man for melodies.
And
Absolutely.
we are nearly coming to the end. So I just want to ask two last questions. You're touring here with Sirenia. So what I understood from social media, you were friends before with Sirenia. So I'm wondering, how did you get to know with Sirenia?
Well, first of all, we share the same label, because Sirenia are under Napalm Records and Temperance at Napalm Record too. Plus, we met on the road several times. I'm a really good friend of Niels Baron, the guitar player of Sirenia. He is French, and for instance,
Same
came,
language.
he came to attend the ERA shows, and we even have spent some time together. Plus, this world is so small that when you connect with someone, then you get to know someone else. There are some online covers of me and Niels, playing together online. We recorded stuff during
Check them out.
the pandemic. Some Iron Maiden covers are over there. Plus, Alessia substituted Emma in Sirenia a couple of times. Alessia, the previous singer of Temperance, she sang at Sabaton Open Air, for instance, with Sirenia. So again, it's a world that is very supportive and
small world.
Yeah,
basically.
it's a small world where you truly know each other. And now we also share the same booking agency, which is the reason why we're doing this tour together, because we are both under the shield of Rock the Nation, and Rock the Nation thought these two bands could perfectly tour together, and it's working out pretty well.
Yeah, musically, like for fans, it's an amazing combination where, as you've mentioned earlier in the interview, you get like two different bands, but they fit greatly together. So basically, the Sirenia tour is like a comrade tour. And how do you feel about the venue? And
I'm surprised positively. I'm surprised positively. Again, I had no expectations because it's my first time here. But what I've noticed in the past touring, for instance, Scotland or northern England, is that of course the overall space narrows down for bands like us. I'm not saying that this is for everyone, because, for instance, when Ailstone toured in the UK, they play in front of massive crowds. But of course, the more you go north, the less the band is known, for obvious reason. Normally Central European bands, they only tour in London and Manchester. And if you reach, Scotland or Northern England, is already something. This is an honor for me to be here for the first time in Ireland. Tomorrow we'll play Northern Ireland, which is fantastic. So I didn't have expectations at all. But today I came here. The venue is amazing. The stage is fantastic. The quality of the technical material that is here is fantastic. The backstage is beautiful. We have space. We also have a beautiful day. So
one of the best.
We're lucky, or it's a really great experience that hopefully will set the ground for us to come back in the future. That will be
this
fantastic.
will be a great gig. And just to round up, so an orchestral version was released of Glorious. So I'm wondering what's next for Temperance? More orchestral tour?
The next step is a live album. We never released a live album since Maschere, which was the live at the theater. And so much happened in between, so much happened, like the lineup changes, the new records of Jupiter Moons, Viridian, Diamante, now Hermitage. We have 4 records, and there is no live album with live videos that can showcase what Temperance is right now.
Yeah, it sounds like a good step.
Yeah, we thought that it's about time to show what's going to happen with this lineup. This is also a good chance to have the fans and those who follow Temperance, and also new audience, hopefully listening to Kristin singing the old songs. Because of course, of Jupiter Moons, Marco and I are there, but no one knows how the song sounds like Kristin. Same goes for My Demon Can Sleep, for other songs.
It's a surprise.
I think it's important to state that despite the lineup changes, we are getting stronger on the video side, like with some live videos, and on the audio side. So the next step is going to be a live album, which actually is ready. While we're talking about it's ready, the videos are ready. We are just trying to understand when to release it, so that maybe we can have a tour. It would be crazy to release a live record without a live tour following.
So it's an Easter egg, and thank you so much for sharing something secret.
It's not secret.
So something is upcoming with.
Something is coming. Yeah.
With Temperance, follow Temperance. Link below. Follow as well Michele, other band,
and Marco's other band. And Lucas and Marcos Arqueto, other band.
So everyone's other bands.
Kristin's Twilight Force.
We will post our links below. We have as well an interview with Twilight Force, so you can learn as well more about that band. And Virtual Symmetries as well on this channel. A lot of bands they have. Check it out. And thank you so much for the interview. We want to thank you, the viewer, for watching, liking, subscribing. And I'm just giving the last word
Well,
to Michele.
we truly believe in what we're doing. We truly trust in our music, and I hope that this passes through. I hope that you will feel it on the live show.
Definitely.
Follow us, because we need to spread the word. This real Temperance is I want to believe that it's a rising star. We are still a fresh and young band, but of course, the word to word still is what matters the most. So if you are looking at this video, go check out what we are doing in the links that will be provided, and if you like it, tell your friends, and thank you very much.
And special thanks for Napa Records for inviting and arranging everything. So yes, see you. Bye.
Bye bye.